Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha at KGeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Wheel of Time. We are now on season 2, episode 6. I was almost going to say 5. Episode 6, which is called Eyes Without Pity. That's not an endearing, not an endearing title at all, and the thumbnail is breaking my heart. So, last episode, so much went down. Like I said in the review, which was crazy long, just so many things happened with almost all of our characters. About the only one we really didn't see was Matt. But we have Rand, who is slowly understanding kind of the situation that he's in. Moraine kind of filled him in a little bit about the Forsaken and who Lanfear was, and basically just trying to figure out what they should do next, because Lanfear has this crazy ability of being able to get into your head and your dreams, and because as humans we have to sleep eventually, they had to figure out some move because she was going to catch up to them eventually. So they came up with a very dangerous plan, which was for Rand to lean into this whole Lanfear being obsessed with the Dragon Reborn. And Rand was a bit like, I don't know if I should do this. I'm not sure if I can do this. We ended the episode with him entering this dream world with her, and her looking like some kind of crazy witch dominatrix. So we'll see what happens there. With our girls, we saw that they managed to escape. Two of them managed to escape. Nynaeve and Elaine managed to escape from the, I think it's Shan-Chan? Is that the way you say that? But Egwene was captured and presented as a gift to their, I guess, I don't know if he's their king, but whoever's in charge there. So she was collared, and they are now in the process of taking her to where they train them to eventually become slaves. No, there's no other way to put it. Thank you so much to everybody who gave me a little bit of background on how the domain work in their world and how their trainers work. I definitely kind of misunderstood. I realized when they were collaring Egwene that there was no way this was a humane way to handle things, but I didn't realize that they never got to a point where they could be without the collars. Like, I thought maybe they just got to a point where they were so well trained they would be given at least that freedom. But thank you so much for all the information about the fact that that doesn't happen, that they really are just in this horrible servitude for all of their lives. So that's basically what they've taken Egwene to train her to be, one of these people. But they really, I know they messed with the wrong one. I know they messed with the wrong one. So unfortunately though, I don't think it's going to be a good time for Egwene going forward, because she's going to have to figure out a way out of there. We also saw that at the tower, her name is Varen. I finally have it. Varen has been doing her own investigation because she knows something is up, and she is onto Liandrin, but she's smartly keeping quiet at the moment. I think she wants to make sure she's got all of her ducks in a row before she tries to expose her. But at least we've got someone at the tower who has this information, since the tower is going to be the most in the dark about this. And I think that was pretty much it, right? Yeah, there was very little. Perrin, of course, meeting up with the Aiel. I will get her name, Aviada, I think is Avienda. He met her. They basically stuck together right now because she said, since you saved my life, I owe you my life, and I'm going to follow you everywhere. So yes, now he's got a new traveling companion, because it looks like, what was his name? Elias? Yeah, I don't know if Elias is still going to be in the picture or not, but at the moment, him and Rand are at odds. So I'm just, not Rand, sorry, him and Perrin are at odds. So I'm just happy that Perrin has somebody with him. Lots going on, as I said, lots of chess pieces in motion. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in this episode. Enough preamble, let's get into the episode. But just before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions to a lot of shows here, including this one. So if you'd like to join me on this journey or watch other videos of mine, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you know when I do uploads of many of these shows. And if you like this video, please, please, please send some love to the like button. It helps the girl out a lot. And leave those comments like you've been doing. I appreciate it so much, guys. The conversation and the engagement means the world to me, truly. All right, that out of the way, guys. Let's get into the episode right about now. Oh, God. Yeah, Egwene has got to get her lick back. You drag me? You drag me? Yes, girl, get your lick back. I hope you get such the lick back. Burn this place. Everyone in it. She won't get that hit through one day. You watch.
You cannot hurt me.
You want to bet?
Any pain a Suldam feels, her Damane feels twice over.
Okay. Then let's die together today.
The second lesson. The Adam cannot be removed. Not by you. I am Renna.
Don't care. Really don't.
What's your name?
None of your business.
I believe in cultivating a friendship
Okay, yeah,
between
nope.
Soldam and Damane.
No, Damane, thank you.
What's your name?
None of your business!
I will have to hurt you until you tell me. So
Aren't you just gonna give me one? Right?
it would be
Does it
easier
matter?
if you just told me.
Right? Like, what does it matter? What does it matter? If you're gonna treat me like a slave, my name is useless to you. You just give me whatever name you want.
Egwene! Egwene. Now that's almost nice.
See?
I see no reason not to let you keep it.
See? That's what I'm saying. Why did you even ask? I knew it. That is one of the slavery 101 is to strip you of your identity. So why do they even ask? Oh, the pet. Oh, no. This is going to be a triggering episode for me. This is going to be a triggering episode for me. Because I'm the demeaning behavior, that is my biggest trigger. I can handle like the back talk. I can handle all, but when you start to that condescension, whew. Oh, your lick back is going to be glorious, Egwene, and I will be celebrating with you. Ew, ew, ew. You didn't need to see that. So really what you're going to need to do is build up a crazy tolerance to pain. Right? Because I feel like if you really had a high tolerance of pain, you could probably do what you needed to do. Maybe not weave, but that's really what they're using here, right? Is extreme pain. I mean, obviously we saw her body contort too, but it's the pain. But I guess you'd have to have basically no feeling.
What makes you think you can't trust me?
I'm chained up. Yes, thank you. This woman is crazy. She's one of them crazy girls.
These past few months, keeping a Charmael out of your dreams.
Oh, well, that part's nice. No, not here.
I don't believe you.
We're not having dream sex.
Where are your friends, Run?
I don't know. This is your dream world, weirdo.
Perry, Matt, Nynaeve, Egwene.
Yeah, show me Egwene.
Just makes them easier for a Charmael to get to. And now he'll turn them to the dark so he can control you.
They will never turn.
Yeah, you don't know my friends.
The Aes Sedai who's done nothing since you met her but tried to deceive and control you.
Like you? Hello, pot, kettle?
She's had you dancing on her strings this whole time.
Like you.
If you actually want me to trust you, then do something to earn it.
Period.
But if you actually want to work with me, I have one condition.
Here it comes. You gotta sleep with her, right? Why didn't we get to hear the condition? I don't like it.
Where? Did she tell you where?
No, away from you. That was her condition. If she sees us together again, she'll kill you.
I've stayed too long already.
She's a Forsaken, Rand. You cannot listen to her.
I don't know. This boy, when it comes to women, I feel like his father was the only one who could speak any sense into him. I don't know.
Tina, you really think we should be trusting Aes Sedai right now?
I am not the one who got us into this situation. You are the
I
one.
know perfectly well what I did, Princess. Which is why I'm going to make bloody well sure that Aes Sedai and Warder aren't trying to...
I can hear you two big.
Right? It's like, seriously, you're not at all stealth.
Not built. You're a wisdom.
I am.
So you know the drink is a calming one. I'm hoping we can have a reasonable conversation, wisdom.
This warder want to smack the hell out of both of them. I'm loving it.
The shelter of the Aes Sedai sisterhood promises it.
Tell that to Leandrin.
Leandrin Sedai?
No, the other Leandrin.
She's the one who brought us here and turned us over to those Shonchan.
She broke the 3 oaths.
Every single one.
If what you say is true,
It is.
then all of our sisters are in grave danger.
They are.
Sorry I left you so long.
Ah.
How did you? I visited your dreams.
Yep.
Mostly for my own entertainment.
Yeah, you're dealing with evil.
You hate men. With one exception, it seems.
And you done?
Men hurt us, betray us, and still we love them.
Yeah, women do the same things, though.
You swore your oaths to keep him alive, but This is not life.
I was saying the same thing a couple episodes ago. Like, he's aging. It's not gonna get better.
He's holding you back.
Oh, no, please let him go peacefully.
The last tie to the girl you used to be.
But really, will you have broke...
And that's why I'm here. To do what you can't. A gift. Only one woman can give to another.
If you let her do this, then why did you even break your oaths? Damn.
You swore your oaths
All
to
of
the
it for
dark,
nothing.
not to Ishamea. But there are many paths to walk through the night.
Leandrin. You bit off more than you could chew, sweetie. Like I said, unfortunately, I can't feel sorry for you yet. It's coming, I think. Maybe.
Sing! For us. Gardener.
I don't sing.
Treason is not.
Sing!
The way I would sing a song about murdering them all. Oh, it's beautiful. You guys don't deserve it. Especially that hag. Oh, they're not mocking him anymore. That's not what you wanted. Loser. Thought you'd shame him, but they're actually impressed.
These Shanshan seem so bound by their so-called honor, they don't even worry about someone stealing it.
But what of the Queen Althea?
Yeah, the real treasure.
There are far more guards there than around the Horn itself.
Yes.
The Horn is what matters, Builder. We have to.
We will
No.
find a way to get to her.
Exactly. That's the real treasure.
There is steel underneath that sweet exterior. If anyone can survive that place, it's her.
That's right. That's right. Loyal sees the truth. That's why he's putting up and singing for you losers, because really he could have ripped all of you apart before you would have gotten to him. But... I knew it wasn't real, but it still felt good. But remember, I don't think it's going to work like that, honey. That whole reverb thing didn't happen like before, so... No. So this thing reads intent.
A demonic cannot touch any object she believes to be a weapon. You will wear this for the rest of your life.
I won't. I just keep doing it and knock myself out daily. Just be like, you're not going to do anything today.
It's hard, I'm sure, to have grown up thinking that you were a person only to realize that you were a demonic instead.
Honey, you will never strip my humanity.
We will do no more training until you can accomplish this simple task. You
Okay,
must
good.
look at that picture and realize that you can't hurt me with it.
I'll find another way.
They say the strongest demone are the hardest to break.
The more you talk, the weaker I know you are, ma'am.
I'll be back tomorrow.
You said no more training. I don't want to see your face. Okay, Grant, I need you to meditate and I need you to just put the pain away. I need you to get to a point where you don't even know what the pain feels like. I know, babe. You never belong behind bars. But these people will pay. I feel it. I sense it in my soul. Wow, and the fact that people can just be walking around hearing those screams, it shows you that this society literally has no humanity, no soul, no kindness.
If you want to be free, make sure Matt leaves with him.
Okay.
You know what I saw? The vision of Matt and Brand. How did you see?
Do this last thing. And I promise you, I'll take away your gun.
Promises from,
What if I
okay.
don't?
You should know that whenever someone doesn't live up to their deal and they keep making addendums, it probably means that's never going to end, right?
Here's as good a place to stop as any. I'm dying for some tea.
This place doesn't look very welcoming.
This is a temple to the Forsaken. Interesting choice.
Shelter?
Is it?
Do you believe they had powers the Aes Sedai have lost? Weaves the sages forgotten.
They were the generals of the Dark One's army.
I would say yes. That's usually the way it works.
Our Aes Sedai would never even consider.
What you're willing to do changes, depending on what we
Exactly, as I was about to say. Doesn't mean they're not capable just because it's forbidden. Oh my god, really? Really? In a temple for the Forsaken. Right in front of my salad.
It's rude to leave while your friends are sleeping.
Were you sleeping?
Where are you going, old friend?
Out of earshot, ideally.
Do you actually believe?
We don't know what to believe. Because you've told us nothing. You risk our lives, Alana's life, and why? But if you are dark friends sworn to Landfair, you shall not leave this place.
You think someone this good looking could dare swear herself to that chick?
I need to find her.
What do you want from Suan Sache?
Outside of being in the presence of an absolutely gorgeous woman.
It's about Moiraine.
Don't you know his whole life is about Moiraine? Come on now.
People will kill you where you stand if you don't.
That would be a mistake.
We found the dragon before.
And lost him. As a dragon reborn, would you need a sword?
This is where you're headed.
I hate to say it, but Lanfear was not lying about keeping this monster out of your head. Lesser evil and all that.
Is she, dear? If
Yeah,
he doesn't
get
want you
out.
to be here, then you shouldn't be. I told you I was protecting you from him.
You want an award?
See anyone you want.
Really? I don't trust you.
I thought about what you said. About the lies I told you, and you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't given you any reason to trust me.
Thank you.
There anyone you'd like to see?
Oh, there is, but if he says that, that could really unravel things.
Anyone?
Carefully. Careful, Rand!
Anyone.
But I mean, in a way, now because she's there... You know what? Ishmael helped there, because if he hadn't put her in that position, he would have been really bad asking. Look at this pervert.
What happened to you?
Yeah, she's like, I'm processing. You're supposed to be dead?
Is that you?
Yep. You should have known.
She's supposed to be at the White Tower.
I know where she is.
And you're gonna have to work with me to get it.
Just tell me where she is. Tell me!
That's what love looks like, not whatever you think's going on there.
Ishmael has her. I told you he'd get them.
Physically.
I'll do anything.
Wrong answer. I'm really wondering if Luce Theron is in there. Was he this gullible? Was he this young? I'm trying with Rand. I am, but... Whew.
Hello?
Whoever's in the next cell over is crazy. Let's not listen. Yeah. Honey, you are a very unique rose in how strong you are. A lot of people, they break easily under pain. And that is not a judgment. It's just a reality. You're going to have to hold your own in this situation, unfortunately. You're going to have to dig into places you didn't even know you had.
I've just spoken to a ship's captain here I trust. He will take you to the tower.
Do they want to go back there?
Basan and I will stay here and do what we can to rescue your friend.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, she really isn't.
Rima Sedai, I apologize, but I think you've underestimated both this situation and the two of us. Neither Nynaeve or I are leaving this city until Egwene is with us.
Period. Nynaeve will blow this whole place up. You don't understand. She will literally incinerate this place, and they deserve it.
If you want to rescue your friend, We have to work out how to open this.
Ah, the collar. How about sheer force? Because that's kind of what Nynaeve works in. Just god level force. Like I said, why can we not just take out the whole town? Why can't we do that? Can we do that? Writing that out must have... I'm not surprised she crumpled it. She can't even say it out loud yet.
I thought I'd bring you a little something.
Oh, hello,
Has
nephew.
Rand gone? I made him one too.
He's gone for the evening, and
Oh,
I'm not
he
hungry.
wants to be friends with Rand.
You said that I made the best sandwiches. I said it was because the butter was from a very special cow. Only it wasn't, of course.
Aww.
Buttered both sides of the bread.
You can leave it there.
Come on. Come on, Moiraine. He loves you.
I'm sorry for intruding.
Moiraine, don't be like that. I get it, end of the world and all, but...
It's worth a try, though.
It was. You're a good boy. Don't lose that. It's not about you. Moiraine's going through a lot. Oh, that's right.
Sister,
Mama's like,
I haven't
listen,
slept.
don't you hurt my baby.
My son worships you, as I worshipped you, as father.
Don't.
Sore spot?
What was so important that you couldn't come home and hold your own father's hand while he left us? I know you never cared for me, but you loved him. You always loved him.
These are judgment. These are assumptions.
I want you out of this house and out of this city tomorrow.
You can't really come for her baby boy. That's mama bearness.
I am the damage-red heir. And this house is mine if I want it.
Oh, this is the way you want to take it. Oh, Moiraine.
You are mother through and through.
Ooh. That is so difficult because her sister's coming from a place of extreme judgment, but Moiraine doesn't make it easy. All right, draft 55. Hey, Sean, we haven't seen you all season. Starting to think you didn't film. I don't like this. Ooh.
Lan. Leave us.
She said bye.
It's Moiraine.
Step inside my carriage. They let him have games? Isn't this supposed to be prison?
I spent years working out those weaves on my own. Practicing and practicing. What do you think? I'll just give it away?
Yes, yes.
And now your only chance of making a difference.
Is it different between the genders then? It's
me.
gentled with them and stilled with women? It's interesting language if that's the case.
Make it yours. No pretending, no more hiding. If you want power, you take it.
Interesting. I don't think they've all been white and black, have they? I think his was all black.
Careful, boy, don't take too much. You could burn yourself out.
Kenny.
Too much.
Ew, what is it with the puking this episode? Yuck.
There's not enough time.
Time for what?
To learn how to use it to be able to fight.
I wouldn't talk so close to someone's face after they just... You are clearly very powerful, Rand. They would not be chasing you like this if your power was not significant, sir.
Honey, so this time we are going for...
Oh, he hears Maddie's voice.
So, we are going for hard eight,
This could be awkward or beautiful. I don't know which way it's gonna go. And now punch him in the face for lying to you.
In Light's name, were you doing in Kyrian?
What in
It's a long
Light's
story.
name are you doing in Kyrian? And where is your hair? Mate, you look bloody awful.
Damn. It's always the ones closest to you.
Now this first round is on you, given that you bollocks up my rock.
Fair enough. I think Rand might need a little levity right now, actually. Matt might be the right person for some things.
So we have to be careful and never channel if they are near. Go ahead. But only a trickle.
I don't think Egwene does trickles. Egwene does gushing, like, rapid rivers. There's no trickling.
It's a terangrial.
Like the arches. You never told us how you got these.
Do you want to know? I feel like they weren't on living Damane.
Channelers kept us slaves. The Amelin Seat sent us to investigate these claims for the White Tower.
Alone?
They intend to bring the whole world under the Empress's control.
Empress. So that dude from last episode is not the leader.
2 were killed, along with their warders.
They call it an Aes Sedai.
Not just an Aes Sedai. A sitter of the Blue Aisha. I only have this because my sisters paid for it.
I thought. Didn't get it off of a living Damane. I'm gonna need y'all to figure that collar out immediately.
You can't remove it. You can't even touch it
Shut
without
up.
unbelievable pain.
Can you leave?
Do you want to know who created the Adam?
No, I don't want to hear anything from you.
She was a sister of your White Tower.
Aes Sedai don't have slaves.
Maybe
What
they
did
did
you
one.
do as a novice?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's not quite slavery, but I mean, you are doing grunt work.
You are not a woman.
She is. Fully.
You are a Damane, and a powerful one. Feels better when we are complete, doesn't it? Look to the tree, Egwene.
Why?
I know it brings you comfort.
Get out of my head, weirdo. I mean, Egwene did need to do some training, but this is a bit extreme. This is kind of a bit too much.
I'm a warmer in your mind. Make it so hot it begins to steam.
Why are you killing the tree? What did the tree do to you?
To feel. This is the power we are meant to wield, Egwene.
We? Who?
Here, pour yourself some water. You deserve it.
I don't want your stupid water. Yeah, what? Really? You thought one little exercise would be enough? Weak woman. You are a weak, weak woman. Storm off because you can't break her spirit. Me. Oh, Egwene, your look back will be glorious.
Why are you risking everything for someone you barely know?
She's my friend.
After 3 days? I feel like there's a deeper reason.
Last year, when I thought I defeated the Dark One.
Sorry. Yeah, it's just still crazy to me. When
Let
you
him
say
finish,
that.
please, Maddie.
Everyone would be better off without me, safer.
Something you and Matt have in common.
We're not better off without you, Rand.
Oh, we? What about you,
We're
Matt?
not better off without you either.
Thank you. Hear that, Matt. Please, internalize.
He has a wine in farm. And I know they want me to go there. But if I don't go, what happens to it then?
Who else is going to keep you from becoming an arrogant prick? Draggery.
As I said, we need Matt's levity. We really do. Rand needs it a little bit. But also, I feel like Matt would be the first one to tell him if he starts to get, feel himself a little too much. But also, he needs a little bit of self-confidence. I need Rand to start standing in himself a little. He's just a little too wishy-washy. You don't go see your baby daddy? No? Okay.
And that is how I'll remember you. Incredibly low standards, but never for booze.
Damn. That's just coming with all the one-liners this episode.
I've already told you I
You kill him. You kill Rand.
You didn't see Rand die. You saw him fall, but you didn't see him die.
In farm, that's where he wants you to go, right?
No. You set me up.
She did.
Yeah. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Because of him. Since we left.
Slightly before.
Before we met.
Yeah. Oh, look at you, Matt. I like it. Putting the pieces together.
Genuinely thought you were my friend.
She's trying to be, but she's kind of in a mess.
I am. That's why I'm telling you.
She's trying.
If you love him, stay away.
I think what's really crazy to me is that I'm assuming that a lot of her visions come true, but she's got to know that when it comes to the future is always changing.
Well, Thanos, I owe you an apology.
You do.
The truth is, I've been a terrible visitor and a
Very
worse
much
aunt.
so. Well, I don't know about the aunt part.
I think you'll make a wonderful king, Barthelus.
Oh, so he actually is a king and not a consort?
King to make our house proud.
Oh, look at him fidgeting. He wants a hug. You're gonna have to hug. I could tell by that fidgeting. He wanted a hug.
Oh.
Yeah, it feels good though, doesn't it, Moraine?
The Amelin seat is here, in Kairin, with 14 Aes Sedai, and she's demanded an audience with you.
Because I'm important. Oh, wow. Okay, well, guess everyone knows she's here. Yes! Yes! You better arrive. You better arrive.
Last time the Amelin seat called 14 sisters to meet with her in Cairian, we installed a new king on the
Why
side
are
train.
you even near me right now? Love the outfit, love the hat, love it all, love it. What do you do, Matt? What do you do? I don't know what the right answer is, because part of me is like, don't do it, but at the same time, if things are meant to be, it won't matter if he doesn't go with him right now. Come on, Maddie. Come on, Maddie. Come on. That's not a guarantee. Oh, hi. Oh, hi.
I can't let you leave.
I don't know if pushing him's a good idea right now. Things are getting spicy. We're getting close to the end of the episode. I'm mad.
Nynaeve, can you help us?
She doesn't do little.
They might feel it.
I'm scared. Yeah, no, she doesn't do
I can't
little.
control it like that. They don't have to decide to help you, just help them.
Again, she doesn't do little. Just think of Egwene. I don't know if that'll help. I told you, Nynaeve doesn't do little.
What did you feel?
It needs to be healed. The only way it can be healed is to be put on a woman. It's the only way it'll be complete. It can't be broken.
Basan, that means the Damane have found us. Do not expose yourselves. They have come to find a channeler, and I will give them one.
Aes Sedai, no.
Sister.
Ooh, Nynaeve is building up a lot. She's building up a lot. Ooh, y'all are gonna be sorry in this place. I can feel it. Maybe not this season, but it's coming. She does not like people dying for her. It's nice knowing you, my sister. I really would have liked to see you longer, but...
Pour the water, Egwene.
This is feeling very like Eat the Cake anime right now. Wow, you guys really leave a warm impression everywhere you go, huh? No, I already love them. It sucks. Oh, that is cool. We have not had enough battle with the two of them. Damn it. No. This is sad.
Outside this door, beyond these stones.
Don't listen to her. Just block
Nothing
out her
except
lies.
this picture and my empty cup.
Please.
Don't let them
Do it! Do it!
Waited too long.
That's the size of your world, Egwene.
I'm so tired of this woman's lies.
Pour the water.
That's right. Oh! Oh! That was hard. Ma'am, they're gonna take you. Is she not allowed to? I mean, that sounds horrible. Like, I feel like she could have done it to herself.
You can never hurt me. You will never leave me. Pour.
I'll be so sad if she pours it, but I'll understand. It just sucks. Sorry, Egwene. I really am.
Good girl.
Ugh. Ugh. This episode. Ah, sorry, honey. We all like to think we do different, but honestly, pain is a hell of a motivator. Okay, well, you know, Loyal said that it was steel in there. Maybe not. Maybe something softer.
You lasted longer than I did, child.
Ah, that's the one that was taken.
And I was a sitter of the blue azure.
Yeah. That's not helping. I really hope that was your resolve returning, sweetheart. But I don't mind you breaking, because, man, water, you need water to survive. Man, what a sad episode. What a sad episode. I'm sorry, guys. I think I probably got a little bit, little triggered in that one, but you know, like I said, if there's one thing in this world that really gets to me, it's that condescension. Ooh, and you know, obviously, as a Black person with our history, seeing the parallels that are being drawn here is painful. It's always painful to see some, like, just the work that's involved with breaking down someone's psyche and creating that slave mentality. It's insane. But anyway, jumped into that a little quickly. That was episode 6 of this season, and whew, man, oh man, Eyes Without Pity. That's pretty much all of those, what they called Sul'Dan. You have to be devoid of humanity to do that job. You have to strip yourself of any form of general, just any kind of compassion and general humanity to be able to hurt someone who looks like you, who shares so much with you like that in the name of some form of philosophy. And I know it's happened throughout history, and I know there's a belief system behind it, but it's crazy. We're going to get into that more, but let's kind of go through the easier, the lighter parts of the episode first, I guess. Actually, no, let's go with the heavy first, because let's end on a lighter note, because that's a really heavy topic. All right, so this situation with the Sul'Dan and the Damane, it is, it is hard. It is rough. It is crazy. Watching that, like I said at the beginning of the episode, this type of thing, I've seen it in a lot of different shows and movies, but it's probably one of the few things that trigger me a lot. Like, I can handle a lot of violence. I can handle a lot of like the guts and gore. You know, I can handle villains that just do mean things to people. But I feel like the psychology, especially around what's necessary to enslave, is just such a triggering and sad and angering topic. And as I said, I think obviously a good part of it is because I am a Black person. My ancestry is tied to things that happen just like this in not that distant history. As women as well, women are still going through being oppressed and having their rights and their basic freedoms toyed with. So this episode hit on a lot of things that are sadly very real in our world. And it's just, as I said, to me, you know, the physical part of it is horrible. Obviously, what Egwene was going through the collar, the pain, the distorting of her body, the torture. But beyond that, it's the mental. That's the part that really, really got me. And that's the part that angers me, is the talk, right? The fact that the Sul'Dan just kept trying to reinforce the thinking, there is no world outside this room. There is nothing outside this cup. No one is coming for you. You are nothing. You're not even a woman. You're not a human. You are mistaken. This is it. All you'll ever be is this, and I will always be your control. Like that mind, that is the part that is so triggering, because that's what's necessary for slavery, right? That's the necessary for any abusive relationship to thrive. The abuser has to convince the victim that they are devoid of power, that they are devoid of options, and that they are not worthy, and that they actually deserve what is happening to them. That's the only way to keep someone, because once you have them enslaved up here, you have them for life, right? That's it. That's bottom line. And that's, unfortunately, you know, when you hear people, like I remember, you know, again, being who I am, you know, I've heard people, and I've even asked the question when I was younger, like, why? Why did slavery last for so long? Why didn't more of them leave? Especially when you think about the fact that, you know, again, using our real world, like the plantations used to have 100 slaves to one master. Why didn't they rise up? Why didn't they just do this? Well, because it wasn't just physical slavery. As you get older, you learn that the mentality, the whole system was built to have slaves believing that they weren't even human or that they didn't deserve these things, even though intrinsically we knew it wasn't true. When you get that whole world around you telling you this, and that's the whole thing, Falm has turned into this place where everyone is telling them that this is it. Everyone, you saw that people ran away and didn't even look at the Damane, right? Like, so it's just this world that's created where everyone is telling you this thing. And even though it's not true, it's very hard to break away from groupthink. Groupthink is a real phenomenon. Like, it's a scientific and a psychological phenomenon that they're still studying, because they're still trying to understand how, as humans, what we know and what we believe can be overturned, by a number of people around us having a different belief system, right? It's crazy the way our minds work like that. But so yeah, like, that's when you understand that that's what's necessary, is enslavement of the mind in order for enslavement to work. It's just such a sad and terrifying thing. And from the outside looking in, it's so scary. Like, it's easy. Like, I can get worked up during the reaction and be like, but the reality is I don't know how I'd be in that situation. I really don't. A lot of people, I see people all the time, like, you wouldn't be able to do that. I would do this. I would do that. But we don't know. We really don't know until you've been put in that situation, whether or not you would have the fortitude to endure torture unendingly, right? Because our basic human instinct, every single one of us, our instinct is to live. At the very baseline, all of us want to live. It takes a lot, and I mean a lot, for you to be okay with losing your life. Even when we saw that Aes Sedai in the end, asking her warder to be the one to do it because she couldn't do it herself. Understandable. Like, part of me is like, couldn't she do it? But at the same time, I understand she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to do it. It goes against every instinct we have. It takes a lot to do something like that, unless you're already in such a sad and broken place that you feel like that's the only way to go. But so yeah, it's that instinct to survive is really strong in us. And Egwene is willful. We know that. Egwene is very willful. She's got a very powerful will, but she was starving. She was thirsty. You can only live a few days without water. And from what I can see of this environment that they're showing in Falm, it's hot, it's dry. The dehydration would really be getting to her. It would affect her mind, her thinking. And this woman, and I use that term very loosely, this Soldaman, who was in, what was her name? I didn't even care about her name. Anyway, she was determined. And you saw, like, Egwene was getting to her, though. That's the part that frustrated me, is that if Egwene had held out for like another day, this woman would have lost it. She was at her wit's end because she thought she would break her sooner. But still, this woman was determined to just use physical force by all means to break Egwene. And I don't think she's broken her fully. I don't think it's a complete, like, I've given in yet. But unfortunately, raw force, brute force is not going to work, at least not in this situation, particularly for Egwene, because unlike Nynaeve, and again, I'm making assumptions here because I don't know how their powers work, but I feel like if Nynaeve was there, she'd probably overwhelm the caller. Truthfully, I think she has the power to overwhelm it, but Egwene's power doesn't work like that. And so brute force is not going to work, and that's what Egwene was trying to use initially, was just brute force, brute power, just sheer force of will, but that's not enough. And so just to survive, she had to do it. And that's, again, for many slaves throughout history, that is why they didn't fight back, or that's why they eventually stopped fighting, was because they wanted to survive. And as I said, I will never fault somebody for having a survival skill, or not survival skill, a survival instinct, and listening to that. And so it's heartbreaking. It's sad to see her break in that way, but just because you break once doesn't mean that you stay broken. And I don't think there is anything. I think hearing that other Aes Sedai, the sitter of the Blue Aja in the other room, say that, that Egwene lasted longer than her, I feel like it's going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to discourage her and think, oh my gosh, like, these are the highest of the Aes Sedai, and they didn't make it very long, like, they're here. Or it'll fuel her fire even more to be like, okay, if I outlasted an Aes Sedai, there's gotta be a way I can hold out a bit longer, right? So I don't know. We'll see what happens maybe in the next episode. I didn't watch the preview for the next one, but I'm hoping that it gives her a little bit of hope, I guess, at this point, because she is gonna have to play ball for a while at this point if she can't break the collar. And that kind of dovetails into, actually, wait, before we go there, Rand visiting her dream. I wondered if that would fuel her spirit a little bit. But again, I realized that Rand didn't have any time to tell her he was alive, that he didn't have time to explain anything. And I knew that hag was not going to let him. But still, I was thinking maybe it would encourage her. But now that I think about it, maybe not, because she might have just thought it was willful thinking or wishful thinking, because she's in this crazy place and any comfort she could draw would be the way to go. But the hair, maybe she'll think about it. She didn't really have time to to really think about anything, but maybe she'll focus on the fact that his hair looked different and everything, so maybe it wasn't a dream. But again, she probably has without knowing that he's alive, I can see her not dwelling on that. But anyway, so that is a sad situation, but I do think, like I said, I know she's not broken. And I do believe what Loyal said, that there is steel in there. She just has to remember she has it and figure out the best way to survive at this point. The same way Loyal is, which we'll talk about him in a second. But you just have to adapt sometimes when you're in a situation until you can figure out your way. There always is a way, but at this point she needs to survive, and that's what she did. She needed that water, and she can't do anything if she's dead, which it looks like they were willing to let her die if that's what it takes, so she couldn't be broken. Although I don't know if Ishmael let her die. I guess, maybe. I mean, it's someone who doesn't pose a threat if she dies, but it feels like he wouldn't want her gone. But anyways, either way, she was in for some pain, either way. And I don't blame her. You saw her the toll it was taking on her body, I can only imagine. So, but yeah, that's Egwene at this moment. I really do hope that they find a way to get her out of there, and that Nynaeve or Elaine or both of them find a way through that collar. But that's where we're at with her. And I was saying that dovetails into Loyal and the Sharon, what are the name of those guys? I keep forgetting. One of the guys that was captured with him. So we see that Loyal's become the performing monkey for Suroth. But I really like that moment where, he didn't want to do, because I remember from last season, they showed us that short about how the tree singing is a really big deal in their culture. And her basically trying to make a mockery out of where he comes from and what he does, which is, again, very much colonizer, enslaver mentality. And I love that, Loyal didn't want to do it, but then if he did, he didn't want to stir up the trouble. It wasn't worth the trouble. But when he did it, seeing the effect, people kind of started laughing, but then you see that they actually began to see the beauty in it. They actually began to hear the beauty in it, and they were fascinated, and they weren't, it wasn't something to be mocked. They saw that there was something special here. And you saw Suroth's face immediately, right? That's not the reaction she wanted. She didn't want this man to earn their awe. She didn't want them to see him as something that should be loved and respected. So, of course, she quickly breaks the spell and tells him to get out. But I kind of love that, and it shows like that quiet dignity that Loyal has. Because I feel like if I were Loyal, I'm petty. I would have just sung all wrong so it didn't work. But because he has such reverence for his culture and what they do, he still did that thing, even knowing they might laugh and mock him. And the fact that he just kind of let that roll off his back when she tried to do that, like, Suroth and him they have to go butt some heads, because I know she's going to try to break him. But I feel like if there's anybody who's going to hold out forever, it's going to be Loyal, because I feel like he's got that deep down, like, still waters run deep type of patience situation. Like, I feel like, yeah, he would be able to just let anything you say or do roll off of him. But anyway, I really like that small moment, and it showed us a little bit about Loyal, and again, just more about this very toxic and disgusting culture of the Shan-Chen. We then hear that the horn is there, but it's not being heavily guarded because no one dares to take the horn, but that they have much more guarding around the channelers, which makes complete sense to me, obviously, because they are much more powerful at this point. The horn is something that has to be used very specifically, to my understanding, whereas obviously the channelers are the volatile issue, right? The power, the potential of the power there is far more damaging. So there's a difference of opinion on what to go or where to go next. We see that Loyal wants to rescue Egwene, but the soldier wants to get the horn. They both have their reasons, and both are valid, and both are very things they should be worried about in the immediate term. But I have to go with Loyal on this one, right? Egwene is really the one who's most in danger, although he does say that he feels like she'll be able to survive this, but I don't think he understands how bad it is for her in there. But either way, I'm glad at least he's trying to look out for her, and they're both keeping their eyes open for opportunities to turn this situation around. Back to the girls, we see that Nynaeve is, upset as usual. She doesn't want to trust any Aes Sedai right now. Of course, she already had shaky faith in them to begin with. And she's trying to get Elaine to leave. She repeatedly is like, Elaine, you should go. And Elaine's like, I'm not leaving. Like, if you're staying, I'm staying. We need to work together. And we hear Nynaeve ask the question of why, which is a very valid question, because Showtime, Egwene's only known this girl for like 3 days. But she's like, she's a friend. I have never had friends, and I completely understand that as a royal, they're often set apart. They're often raised to be alone. And so if you do make a genuine connection with somebody, you're going to value that. a lot. And I also feel like I don't think it's just that. I feel like Elaine wants to feel more connected with the world in general, right? Because when you're locked away as a, someone as important, like an heir or an heiress in her case, they won't let you do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even like wipe your own butt. Like, you can't comb your own hair. Like, you get so little autonomy, and you also get very detached from your kingdom and from your constituents. Like, that happens a lot with monarchies, and we see that, right, in Carhen, right, that the queen is out here sending poor people off to their deaths because she doesn't want to deal with the rubbish. Like, how detached do you have to be from the poor to know that that's messed up, right? So anyway, I think Elaine wants to be, or feel like she's making more of a difference and be more in touch with the world. And that's why she doesn't want to run back kind of to mommy and daddy, as it were. And yeah, I'm not mad at it. Like, I think that Nynaeve needs help. She never admits it, but she needs help. She needs someone else there. And Elaine may not be as powerful as her, but I think she's got a much better handle of her weaves than Nynaeve does. Well, everyone does at this point. So anyways, we have collars, which is great. That's one thing to know, is like, is there a way to break these collars? We see that the Yellow Aes Sedai is like, if we can figure out how to break these collars, then we can free Egwene. But if we can't do that, we're gonna have a problem, because even if we somehow get her, she's attached to her Sul'dan, and she's still going to have this torture device around her neck. So we won't really ever be able to truly rescue her, short of killing her. So they try to analyze it, but she's saying the main reason they can't do a lot of analysis on it is because the weaves can be detected, which is what I figured out a couple episodes ago with the girls who were running around the village. So she's like, we can only use a trickle at a time, and it's, and she's like, by myself, I've never been able to do it. So she gets the help of the girls, and of course she's like, trickle, intricate, delicate work here. Can we do it? And I'm like, those are words we can't apply to my baby Nynaeve. My baby Nynaeve is a supernova, okay? She does not do trickles. She does not do little. There is no stream of light. It's a sunburst. There's no trickle of water. There is a deluge. So, and I mean, I think she'll eventually get to that point, but we're not there yet. So, unsurprisingly, she uses her power, and I love how they illustrated it with the CGI, with the other girls, just these nice, intricate little, winding weaves, and then Nynaeve's is like 6 bands of thick power, just boom, right? She tried, though. I want to give her props for trying, because in the past, we've seen it since she's been at the White Tower, she hasn't even tried. So this is her first attempt to try to control her weaves since then, which is progress. And again, for Egwene. But we see that she's actually the only one who's able to figure it out of the 2 of them, or the 3 of them. She's like, it was designed to be around an Aes Sedai's neck, or around a channeler's neck. It needs to be around a woman's neck, and it will not be healed until that happens. And you can't break it. Like, there's no breaking of it. It's broken now with no neck to be on, and it will be complete when it's on a neck. So she's like, you can't break it. It's always intact. So I know that they dropped that to give us a hint, and I'm not quite sure what the workaround for that would be, but there's got to be a way. There has to be a way. Maybe it takes Rand. Maybe it takes a man, because she said a woman can't do it. Who's not a Sul'dan, obviously. And a woman, I'm thinking the collared person can't do it. So maybe it takes a male channeler, because it was never designed for a man. And we do have a male channeler, but we're going to get to Rand. But anyways, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's one, I don't know. I'm not sure, but they dropped this knowledge on us, and I'm sure it's for a reason. And that reason, I'm going to assume at this point, is that there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to break these collars outside of actually getting a Sul'dan to do it. So that's where the girls are at. But they get found out eventually, because we know that they've been searching for the 2 escapees since they left. And this Aes Sedai ends up having to sacrifice herself. She's like, they're here for a channeler. I can't, the best I can do is let them think that I'm the one they're looking for. You 2 have got to stay safe. Like, she's given them as much info as she can about trying to keep their heads down if they refuse to leave. And that's all she could do. And so we watch her in her last stand with her warder. So sad, so heartbreaking. Like, we've only known this character for 1 episode, but man, my heart broke for her to know what fate awaits her after seeing it happen again and again and again is the heartbreaking part, because she knew she'd get taken down, I should say. But she really wanted to go out her own way. But I understand, like, the warder, what warder could do that? I mean, I understand why she asked him, but what warder could do that? Bless him. He just didn't. I mean, I think he was going to try. I really don't think he would have connected the blade, to be honest, even if he hadn't been killed before. But we see that, unfortunately, she has been collared. I don't think she'll last, though. Like her other sisters, I don't think she'll be broken. They will break her first, but broken in the sense of, like, succumbing. But mind you, If they show her that the Aja that's still in there, maybe. Anyways, I'm derailing. Anyhow, she's out of the picture, and now the girls are on their own. Hopefully they'll know what to do next. I mean, that's why I'm glad Elaine is there, because Nynaeve would just, again, try to just bulldoze her way through. But thankfully, Elaine is kind of that calming countermeasure. And I think now that she's told Nynaeve why she's there, maybe Nynaeve will kind of ease up on always challenging everything that she says and start listening, because she does need that finesse that Elaine has. So we'll see what they can do and how long they can hold out, because thankfully, dovetailing into what's going on in Carhane, the whole meeting between Rand and his crazy girlfriend, we see that basically Lanfair's like, what's up? Why are you here? You clearly knew you'd end up here at some point. What's the game? What's the game? What's going on? And Rand rightfully points out for her that, like, you want me to trust you, but you're not giving me any reason to trust you. You've lied to me since day one. You've got me chained up in your weird sex dream. What's going on? And she, of course, is trying to say, oh, but look at Moiraine. Moiraine's been controlling you. She's been doing all this. And he's like, but again, like, haven't you? Like, y'all are playing the same game. You're dancing to the same song. Like, what's going on? And so she lets him go. She realizes, yeah, okay, I'm being a bit hypocritical. You're right. But, you know, she is a little weak. And I like that. You know, Rand, of course, got up in her face and is like, oh, you want me to work with me? You want me to trust you? You got to help me. And he gave her them soft eyes and that bass in his voice. And of course, she got weak in the knees a little bit. And she's like, okay, I'll help you, but on one condition. And she's like, you got to get away from Moiraine. And I mean, Moiraine had to have anticipated that, truthfully. Like, there's no way, right? Lanfear's not an idiot, right? You're smart, Moiraine, but so is Lanfear. And she also has like 3,000 years of like experience over you. So anyways, Rand says, look, I'm kind of tired of both y'all girls. To be perfectly honest, I'm tired of both of y'all. But based on what you told me, since I got to play this game with Lanfear, I got to get away from you. Otherwise, she's going to kill you. And I know that Lan does not want any blood on his hands. Like, that's the reason that he's been lying this whole time to his friends, right? He doesn't want the blood on his hands. So he leaves. Moiraine's not happy about it, but she, again, this was a gamble she had to know was a possibility by involving or trying to work with Lanfear. But anyways, we see that Lanfear comes back later on after, of course, Ishamael gets into Rand's head and is trying to, again, convince him that he's going to do dark things anyways. And Lanfear comes in. Oh, yeah. And that kind of feeds into Lanfear saying, I stayed with you to keep Ishamael out of your head because I knew he was going to try. And I'm the only one who can do that. And I'm like, I do believe that, right? I believe that she, out of her love for him or love for Luz, that she would protect Rand from being influenced by him, at least Ishamael directly. But also it kind of gives her a little privacy with Rand too, which I think she wants. And she says, you know what? After she pushes Ishamael out, which was satisfying, she says, all right, I've thought about what you said. You're right. I have been shady with you. And you're right. I should give you a gesture of goodwill. Like, you left Moiraine like I asked. Let me return. Let's reciprocate. So she's like, is there anyone that I can see? So of course, as I said in the episode, at first I was like, Rand, do not say Egwene. Do not say to this woman who's obsessed with you that you want to see another woman. There's like, you know. But then I thought, well, because of Ishamael's crazy dream showing that Egwene would possibly be taken out by Rand, of course he's going to be super worried and it's going to create a different situation. So it actually worked in his favor. So now he could ask about Egwene because he's like, well, I just saw her dead. Like, you know, you got to play up that card, right? And so I think that's the reason why Lanfear did it. Honestly, I think if any other situation, she probably would have been a little bit more like, but in that case, especially because he looked down at the body of Egwene, she kind of was like, all right, fine, fair enough. So she shows him where Egwene is, lets him talk to her. We saw that. And he sees that she's clearly not okay. And he wants to help her, understandably. But of course, before he can explain anything to Egwene, Lanfear brings him back because she does not want those two connecting. Let's be real. She is still a petty, jealous ex when it comes down to it. She is still a petty ex-girlfriend. So she was like, you all not gonna get all lovey-dovey on me right now, okay? I'll let you see her. I'm a bigger person here. So she says, okay, fine. You know, I can tell you things about her. But again, she wants to be in control of this whole thing, right? She wants to be in control of the information that's disseminated to Rand, right? So she does tell Rand everything. But of course, she's still working with Ishamael. So she can't really stop him from trying to go. But of course, we see that Ishamael has already arranged some things to happen with Rand. And that's why I think she told him about Falm. I don't think she really wanted to. I really think she would rather have him just been like, oh, well, don't know where she is. But again, we got to go with the plan right now, the larger plan. So that's kind of where Rand's at. And it leads him into, of course, meeting up with Matt again. And With Matt, there's not much to talk about there. Again, he kind of, like I said, I like the levity he brought to this episode because it was a very heavy episode. But his kind of happy-go-lucky, I'm a bit of a, witty, I don't know, jester sort of energy that he had going on. It was nice. It was a nice break from what we had in the episode. But we see that, of course, it was countered by Min feeling horrible about the fact that she had to go through with what Ishmael asked of her, which was to make sure that Matt and Rand leave together. He's like, just do this. So she's like, I don't want this because I saw what happens if they leave together. And he basically is like, our deal is not off or done until that happens. And of course, he's told her he's going to take her visions from her. But she's like, well, what if I don't? What if I don't do this condition? What if I don't do this addendum you threw onto our deal in the last minute? Ishmael doesn't answer, which is a very interesting response. He chooses to just turn into feathers and disappear. And she, I guess, takes that as a green light. But I think that was the fact that he didn't answer. I feel like I'm going to take a stab and say it's because he knew he was lying. He is not able to. I don't think he actually can stop her from seeing the weaves. I don't think he has the power to do that. Because my guess is someone in the comments a few episodes ago said that what Min is able to do is not the same as weaving. So my guess is that she can't be stilled in the same way that you could in Aes Sedai. But I could be wrong about that. That's just my assumption. So if that's the case, then Ishmael would not be able to take those away from her short of taking her life. But I don't think Ishmael wants her gone. He wants her because she's giving him valuable information. And he's able to get into her head to see that valuable information that I'm assuming the wheel would otherwise not expose to him, or the weave. The wheel would not expose to him. So the pattern, that's what it's called, the pattern. Anyways, he disappears and Min takes that as okay, maybe it's not going to be the ultimate consequence. And we see that later on, of course, she allows Matt to meet up with Rand. And when Matt comes to tell her that he's going to leave with Rand, she tells him the truth about everything. She's like, you can't go with him. I've seen it. If you do, something bad's going to happen. You have to stay away from him. And so, as I said in the episode, this part is really weird to me because, as I said, the future is never certain. It's not. It always changes. One little thing could change to the future. Like a future that's set right now, if you make a change or do something differently in the next 10 seconds, it could shift what the future could be, which is why so many scientists and people who've thought about the whole idea of space and time, etc., have all said this is why the future is utterly unpredictable. Utterly unpredictable. If time travel ever happened, it would have to go to the past because we cannot predict the future because it's an ever-shifting thing. It's an ever-changing thing. So knowing that, Min should have known that there's not a guarantee that Matt and Rand would end up the way that she saw. There's not a guarantee. Is there a strong possibility? Hell yes. And I'm sure she's seen a lot of her visions come true, but I'm sure there's also been some that didn't or happened slightly differently. And as I said, she didn't actually see Rand die. She saw him fall, but she doesn't know that he died, right? You can survive a gut wound. You can survive a knife wound. He lost his entire head, a little different. But anyways, that's what she tells Matt. Matt feels bad because, again, I feel like, after everything Leandrin told him in the tower about him being the dude who abandons everybody, he didn't want to be that guy again, especially after seeing Rand for so long because their reunion was very cute. Like I said, I think Rand really could have used that levity right now with all that he's dealing with. And, him telling him the truth, like Rand told him everything. Like, I lied to everybody. I told them they think that I'm dead. I'm the dragon reborn. Like, he told him everything. And, I think Matt really kind of respected that he got to hear that info. And I think he really did want to go with him to find Egwene and to do everything that was necessary. But he wants Rand to survive more than doing that. So we see that in the end, he decided to listen to Min. And that saddens me in a way, but I also understand. I will say it shows that Matt genuinely loves his friends. And that bond is important. I think that bond between them is going to become more and more and more important as the Forsaken and the Dark One keep trying to do things to manipulate them into thinking that they have to choose the dark. So anyway, that kind of wraps up Matt. So he's now feeling kind of bad and thinking, but he's still stuck in Karhan at the moment. But so's Rand. Rand is now stuck in Karhan, and we see why. Which rolls into Moiraine. Moiraine is not much of her, actually, this episode, outside of the fact that she's trying to write a letter to tell Suan that she's been stilled and what's been going on with her, but she's struggling with the words. As I said in the episode, it's got to be difficult. I don't think she's even said it out loud much since it happened. That's very real of trauma. It's very hard to speak trauma when you've experienced it, but it's something you actually need to do. Part of your journey of getting over your trauma is being able to speak to it and talk to it and kind of taking out this this big fear you've built around it. But again, it's been very, very little time. I understand why Moiraine's still not there yet. But even writing it down, she's struggling with. And we see that her nephew, who, I don't know, he's sneaking up on me. He seems very sweet. You see that he's just really trying to do anything to just get noticed and also just to interact with somebody that he clearly looks up to. And Moiraine is just so wrapped up in her own world right now and so used to shutting people out that she doesn't even she can't even look at him. You know, she's like, yeah, thanks for the sandwich, get out. And I'm just like, Moiraine, oh my God, oh. I get it. But at the same time, it's so frustrating to see her do this. It's like when Nynaeve does things where she pushes people away and I'm like, girl, we all need help. But anyhow, so that happens and her sister is understandably ticked because, listen, I get it. Her sister was like, you know, hurt me, but don't hurt my baby. Don't hurt my baby. He's coming to you with the purest of hearts and you're making him feel like crap for no reason at all. Like, can you not just fake being nice to this kid for a minute? And of course, Moiraine doesn't want to hear it. And then her sister says a lot of very presumptive things. Like, she's like, you never cared about me, but dad worshipped you. Mom worshipped, or no, dad, well, she didn't, mom will come to. So she's like, dad worshipped you. My son thinks you're amazing. Everyone thinks you're so amazing. I worshipped you. And of course, Moiraine's kind of like, oh my God, like, leave me. And she's like, I know you never cared about me, but he doesn't deserve that. And that's the presumptive statement, right? Is that her sister, which understandably, she's obviously going off of the actions that Moiraine has shown her, but assuming that Moiraine has no love for her, no affection for her, like, that's going to immediately put Moiraine on the defensive, understandably, right? Because you don't know how your sister feels. I know you're looking at her actions and trying to judge that, but you don't know that. You don't know that she doesn't care about you. You don't know that she doesn't love you. You don't know what she's dealing with. You don't know that she might be handling things the best way that she can. And so, unfortunately, that situation did not lend it to them having a good heart-to-heart. Her sister kind of coming in with all these accusations and this mindset of, you know, of her thinking she knows how things are. So understandably, Moiraine shuts down, doesn't say anything. And then her sister basically is like, well, get out. Like, I want you out by tomorrow. So, okay, you want to do that? Moiraine comes up. She starts pulling rank and she's like, okay, if that's the way you want to play, I'll pull rank. But her sister basically comes back and says, you know, a very hurtful thing where she's like, basically that their father, who apparently was very kind and benevolent and much like the nephew, she says, you got nothing from him. You're all our mother. So haven't heard anything about the mom. Sounds like there's some tea there. Clearly, apparently she wasn't the most loving woman, maybe a little bit on the hard and distant and cold side. But it's possible. I mean, as children, we adopt what we learn from our parents, what we see from our parents. We often imitate what we see and not what we're told. So again, the fact that she would say it the way she said it, I have to think that Moiraine didn't want to hear that. And we also heard that as soon as the sister brought up the father, Moiraine started getting very irate. So a lot of drama going on in this family, a lot of stuff that's there. We didn't really delve into it this episode. I don't know if we're going to delve into it this season. It's really not forefront stuff, but it's interesting anyhow. So after all that, Moiraine does go and decide to apologize to her nephew. And we see that he ends up giving her a hug. And it's been a minute, clearly, I think, since Moiraine's had a warm, truly affectionate hug. And their tender moment is interrupted, unfortunately, because there is a grand arrival. Which brings us to the Amaryllis Seed. She's back. Thank you. I missed her. My gosh. Episode 6, y'all. Episode 6, and we finally see her. She's been traveling. We see she's coming back. She's writing a letter. We don't know who to, but I'm assuming we do. And we see that she's actually interrupted by some writers writing with some fierceness. And that dovetails into the fact that those writers are Lan and, oh my gosh, I always forget that green Aja's name. But anyways, her and her 2 warders. And they are all there because the Green Aja and the warders thought that Moiraine was a dark friend. Like, what? To me, that feels like such a leak. Like, of all people, her? But anyway, that's what they got from the whole poem that they found in Lan's pack, to be a Black Aja, like as a Black Aja. And we see that he gets forced to tell them the truth because it's either that or death. And they obviously realize, yeah, he needs to get to the Amaryllis seat immediately with this information if Moiraine's in the wind. So that's what they do. That's what happens. We see that the Amaryllis seat heads straight to Carhane. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Carhane. Anyway, they head there and she brings 14 Aja with her, including Leandrin. And Leandrin is not sure what it's about yet, but she's there to see Moiraine, obviously. We see that Rand tries to leave. He gets stopped by the Green Aja and by Lan. Now, what's interesting is that it's just them, so there's still a chance that Lan might get out of there. We'll have to see. But if I know Moiraine, she's not going to want Rand in the hands of the Tower. She knows that Rand in the hands of the Tower is not a good thing. So we'll have to see what happens. But then Leandrin's there too, so Leandrin might find a way to get him out. I'm not sure. Some things are going to definitely go down. But that's kind of what happened where we are. And I'm just hoping too that Rand knows that Moiraine didn't give him up. I hope he doesn't think that that's what ended up happening for this to happen. But hopefully the truth will come to him, or Lan will admit that this is how this whole thing happened. So that's kind of what's happening on that side. So I kind of like when things converge. It's one of my favorite things in shows like this is when people kind of converge and reconvene again. And unfortunately, we didn't get the reunion between Moiraine and Siuan. I really think that Moiraine needs this. I think if there's anybody she might just let a wall down for even a second, it'll be her. But we'll have to see. We're going to have to wait till the next episode. But I'm eager to see what their conversation is going to entail. We'll have to see how that goes. So I don't think it's the last we've seen in Logain, but I'm not sure how that's all going to work now, because now that the Amyrlin seat's involved, things are going to get political. And whenever politics get involved, things tend to get messy and slow. But we ain't got that kind of time. But I'm hoping that the only good thing about this convergence, I should say the only good thing, one of the better things about this convergence is that hopefully Rand will tell them about Falme. Because I think it's important for Moiraine and the Amyrlin Seat to know that the the Forsaken already have their hands potentially on two of their people, right? Like, we know Egwene's there, knowing that actually he wouldn't know about Nynaeve. But anyways, at least Egwene, right? Which I feel like if there's anyone who's going to piece together that more of them might be together, it'll be Moiraine. Lots going on. Lots and lots going on. This was a great episode, albeit triggering, but very, very well played, very, very well acted, very, very well written. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments below, and we will see you in the next episode.